This is Carlton, part of ITV1. It's time now for the latest news headlines.
Good afternoon. Ministers set out to sell their budget of rising tax and rising public spending to voters today. The Chancellor and Prime Minister visited a London hospital and said they wanted to make the NHS the best health system in the world. But they were criticised by one senior doctor who said the increases in national insurance paid by all workers were an own goal that would hurt the low paid. 4 Canadian soldiers were killed today in Afghanistan when an American jet fighter bombed them by mistake. The troops, part of the Allied force there, were on a nighttime training exercise when they were hit by a missile. Police admitted today they're no closer to finding missing Amanda, or Millie Dowler, despite interviewing 6,000 people. It's 4 weeks since the 13-year-old disappeared on her way home from school. Next from us, the ITV Evening News at 6:30. Goodbye.
Good afternoon, I'm Joanne Malin. Now the latest from Central News. An inquest jury has been hearing how a motorcyclist died after being knocked off his bike by a police car heading to an emergency. The court was told the accident happened on the A449 near Wombourne in Staffordshire as the police vehicle overtook other cars. 30-year-old Mark Whelan died later in hospital. His family had flown in from Canada for today's inquest hearing. Our reporter Darren Little is outside Stafford Coroner's Court now. Darren, I understand that the police officer who was driving the car has been giving evidence. What's he had to say?
Well, he's been saying a lot today to the court, and this is the crucial part of the evidence given to the inquest. He said that he'd been driving for 13 years and had no endorsements prior to this accident. But crucially, he was questioned about his police training in terms of driving. He had had training last in 1992, but when questioned closer about that, admitted he had no training in using his sirens and no training in responding to emergency calls. Now, most of his evidence has been given very dispassionately in a very level tone of voice, but he did break from that once. He said he was absolutely devastated that this has occurred. He gave his condolences to Mark Whelan's family, but crucially, he said he wouldn't change the manner of his driving, and he did feel that he was driving with his best intent and as safely as possible. He's still giving evidence inside. We'll bring you the latest on what he says in Central News at 6.
Now, Darren, thank you. A woman who was detained in America as a terrorist suspect after she allegedly breached airport security has been told she could be facing a jail term. 22-year-old Sarah Johnson from Wednesbury was accused of dodging security while about to board a flight at Philadelphia. She was charged with defiant trespass but is now accused of criminal trespass, which could result in a jail term. A man has denied causing the deaths of 2 schoolboys, one of them his brother, in a river tragedy. Peter Pritchard of Netley Road in Shrewsbury denied causing the deaths of his younger brother Michael, who was 13, and his friend Alex Wills. It's alleged Pritchard was at the wheel of a Vauxhall Cavalier which plunged into the River Severn last November. Angry horse owners have been protesting about plans to turf their animals off council land. They say there's nowhere else to keep them and made their point by taking the horses right to the council's front door. Here's Elizabeth O'Reilly.
The British way. If you've got a problem, take it to the top. These horse owners are trying to stop their animals being taken away by bailiffs and killed. So they brought them to Sandwell Council House for help.
Our animals are purely pet. They're kept in our area, they're kept on our estate. They're looked after. The fence is maintained, we have no problem with them. And everyone in the area is in the same frame of mind.
The council leader broke off from talks with government officials to come out to the protesters.
What I want to now do is speak to council officers to see if we can differentiate between the responsible owners who are here with a legitimate complaint against the larger number of totally irresponsible owners who are creating major problem in part of the borough.
So it might not be the end just yet for the horses. Elizabeth O'Reilly, Central News.
A wheelchair-bound pensioner says she's virtually a prisoner in her own home because the council won't move a concrete gatepost. Ifran Finch from asked Birmingham City Council 2 months ago to widen the gate at the back of her council flat in Northfield so she could get her scooter out. The council told her it couldn't come to inspect it until July. Mrs Finch's husband Frank has cancer and has been told he's just weeks to live.
They don't seem to care. I'm not asking for the world. Just the gate to be widened, that's all.
I'm concerned because I'm going, but the wife has got to stay and put up with it. She can't fight for things like I normally fight for. She's got to stay and try and do something herself.
Well, after being contacted by Central News, the council has now promised to look into the problem. Finally, the restoration of an historic canal network is to go ahead with the hope that it'll attract major investment. The renovation of Birmingham City Centre's canal network through Brindley Place and Gas Street won over numerous developers. Now it's hoped the refurbishment of the jewellery and gun quarters will have the same effect. That's it. See you at 6. Bye-bye.
Hi there, a typical spring day today, sunshine and April showers. Quite a fair few showers been circulating around a little area of low pressure in the Irish Sea today. You can see them filtering across Wales and into our neck of the woods. Fewer as you get into our neck of the woods, so we're not doing too badly. That area of showers is going to be moving off into the North Sea over the next few hours as this high pressure starts to nudge up to see us for the next few days, which is great because these systems coming in from the Atlantic, coming up against that high, are going to be weakened somewhat, so it's going to protect us. It could be wet at times, but not as wet as it could be. Well, some lovely sunshine out there for this evening to end the day on. The showers nipping off into the North Sea, so clear skies tonight. That does mean cold. Temperatures down to lows of 2 there, low enough for a frost. Also mist and fog forming for morning, but the clear skies giving us a great day tomorrow. Dry sunny spells for the most part, just a chance of seeing a shower during the course of the day. A very small risk tomorrow. Temperatures quite pleasant as well, so in the sunny spells feeling nice tomorrow, and not so bad on Saturday. There is a risk of that system trying to get in from the west, but the high pressure weakening it a lot to just the odd shower. Bye-bye.
The Central 10-day weather line 09063 66 60 66.